5 things that happened after Jesus died. Number 1. Following the death of Jesus, we read that the earth shook and the rocks split. Nature itself was shaken by the death of the Son of God. Matthew states first that the earth trembled and the rocks split. This language implies that this is a significant earthly reaction to the divine events on the cross. Number 2. Tombs opened. Matthew then records an incident found in none of the other Gospels. The tombs were opened and many bodies of the saints, God's people who had fallen asleep in death, were raised. After their resurrection, they came out of the tombs, entered the holy city, Jerusalem, and appeared to many. Matthew 27:52-53. Earthquakes can damage tombs as they were carved in stone. The resurrection of the bodies can only be attributed to the direct action of God, implying he is behind the earthquake. Given the geological features of Palestine, which lies on a significant seismic fault, an earthquake would not be an unusual event. But combined with rocks splitting, leading to the opening of tombs, it is another significant testament to Jesus' crucifixion. Matthew's unique record of these events emphasizes the victory over death that Jesus' sacrifice on the cross accomplishes. Those who were resurrected are literally described as those who had fallen asleep, a common New Testament idiomatic expression for someone who has died but whose eternal fate is secure. The term holy people likely refers to pious figures from the Old Testament, heroes and martyrs of Israel's history, selected to miraculously witness these events. Their appearance to people in Jerusalem is a testimony to the effectiveness of Jesus' work on the cross. This anticipates Paul's teaching about Jesus being the first fruits of the dead, but now as things really are, Christ indeed rose from the dead and became the first fruits, that is, the first to be resurrected with an incorruptible, immortal body, anticipating the resurrection of those who have fallen asleep in death. For since death came through a man, the resurrection of the dead also comes through a man. For as in Adam all die, so also in Christ all will be made alive, but each in his own order, Christ the first fruits, then those who are Christ's at his coming will be resurrected with incorruptible, immortal bodies. 1 Corinthians 15:20-23. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more enlightening content like this. Number 3. The veil of the temple was torn. Matthew 27:50-51 says, "And Jesus cried out again with a loud and agonizing voice, and voluntarily surrendered his spirit, sovereignly dismissing and releasing his spirit from his body in submission to his Father's plan. And at once the veil of the Holy of Holies in the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, the earth shook and the rocks split." The curtain that covered the temple was torn in 2 places. The curtain was the only thing in the temple that differentiated the sacred area from the most holy part of the temple. It was a very clear illustration of the separation between God and man. The book of Hebrews explains the meaning of the tearing of the veil. The veil that always hung in the temple served as a constant reminder that sin makes humans unworthy of being in God's presence. Because of what Jesus Christ did on the cross, the barriers that used to separate God and people were destroyed, and now we can approach God with confidence and boldness. Hebrews 4:14-6. Number 4. Darkness over the whole land. Matthew 27:45. Now from the 6th hour, noon, there was darkness over the entire land until the 9th hour. The darkness occurring at such a critical moment can mean several things. First, darkness was associated in antiquity with mourning. Darkness was also associated with the death of great men. Moreover, darkness was a sign of God's judgment. Number 5. The centurion's realization. Now the centurion and those with him guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and the things that were happening, became terribly frightened and filled with awe, said, "Truly, this was the Son of God." Matthew 27:53-54. This hardened Roman centurion recognized that Jesus was innocent of the crime for which he was on the cross. The centurion must have had a mix of emotions. He had just realized that he had overseen the crucifixion of an innocent man. Various scenes from the events of Jesus' arrest, trial, and crucifixion combined into a compelling statement. It might have been Jesus' response to the injustice, to the torture, or simply the dignity with which Jesus faced his death. In conclusion, the ground is always level at the foot of the cross. It was so in the first century, and it is still today. We must have a passion to know him more deeply. May that same desire burn in our hearts so we can honestly know the one who loved us and gave himself for us. please like this video and subscribe to the channel. God bless you as you do so.